Oh, hello, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation. And welcome to another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site 42, as well as Head Containment Specialist. And as I have done for the past 8 months and counting, the daily streak remains strong every day for 8 months. Can you imagine? I can, because I'm here to answer your queries about the inner workings of this mysterious and dark place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff that contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. We are here for the next 2 to 3 hours. I haven't decided how long yet. You'll see why soon. But I will be answering your standard Q&A along with donations starting after I do some housekeeping. First and foremost, Dr. Optimist, congratulations on being the #1 first most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. Congratulations on being first chatter. Secondarily, Junior Researcher HLG, Game 1 Peeps, Junior Researcher Sally, Haunted Researcher. Person of Interest JPEG, long time no see, good to see ya. Amber, Rose Hill, Carlton, Silent Follower, Night Synth, Site 60. Everyone whom I have just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being members of Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially on a day like today, when I'm doing something silly. So, last set, Just Pit, Ethan, Jared, SCP-953, and Stinker. Welcome to Site 42's stream. Thank you for being punctual, and thank you for being here just for being you. Now, today is a very auspicious occasion. It is the first time, possibly the last, maybe not, we'll find out how it goes. But it's the first time of something, because I am particularly angry today. The world is a problem. Obviously, I was upset yesterday at the Rob Reiner situation. I've watched Princess Bride twice in the last 48 hours. Amazing movie, still holds up. Watch those movies. Secondarily, I'm pissed at how SCP-5004-B is acting about said situation. What a fucking tool. Third of all, I am pissed at all of the other chaos that happened this weekend. Remember, there were other disasters. I'm sitting here trying to contain the anomalous from ruining the world. Meanwhile, the world is being ruined fine enough on its own just by normal bullshit bastard people. Kind of makes you wonder why I'm doing this at all. And finally, someone was personally mean to me. And that's just rude. And although I would love to smite them and toss them into SCP-835, if you know, you know, that's not how I do. And no, I'm not going to utilize my containment hazard assessment team for general petty revenge. Although it would be fun. But no. Instead, you guys are going to benefit because I believe that when the world is terrible and everyone sucks, you make it better. And I'm going to make it better for someone in this containment hazard assessment team today. One way or a fucking other. I'm taking the example of Mr. Beast, and I'm taking the example of not former. What is it when someone is in the same cadre as you? Fellow Tampa native and content creator streamer Moist Critical, i.e. Charlie. Today, I am just going to give away some money. Here's how it's going to go down. I've got a shiny $100 bill. Now, it's not going to be a literal $100 bill. We will do this through PayPal or something. But at the end of this stream, at the very end, after the credit song, I am going to deliver a riddle. A riddle, the answer of which will be an SCP from the database. And if, at the end of this stream, I say my riddle, and someone successfully emails my business email, scpsite42@gmail.com, and they can tell me what SCP I'm talking about, I will literally PayPal or Venmo them $100. Because you know what? Everyone being bastards doesn't mean I'm going to have to be, at least not to everyone else. I will be bastards to people who are bastards. They deserve it. They can go into SCP-835 for all I care. But I will say my riddle, and the first person in my email inbox who answers correctly gets the dough. Bro, we can just use ChatGPT. If you can successfully take my words to ChatGPT and get an answer, I will be impressed. In fact, Desk, because I am now terrified of that, I'm going to send you the riddle in the back channels, and you're going to put it into a fucking AI and see if it finds the answer. Desk, you're going to test this with me because I didn't think about this. As I said, this is the first time we're doing this, but we're going to see how it goes. We're going to see how it goes. We're just trying something off the cuff because I am grumpy, and we're going to see what happens. Just let me send the riddle to Desk. I honestly don't think a ChatGPT could get this. Desk, no clues. Just tell me what you get from some AI things. So, that's it. I'm in a bad mood, and I'm going to make it better for myself and for whoever answers the riddle. But for now, 2 to 3 hours. Standard office hours. Questions? Gimme. Bro's hair tasted the rainbows. Well, technically it tasted a tropical sunset on a delightful beach with tiki drinks. But, you know, they are also vibes. We go with that. I'll have to hear the riddle tomorrow. I made this a fairly challenging riddle. So, you might end up being able to snake it if no one else got it. I didn't say I was going to make it easy. What if you eat SCP-113? Intern Jester Blitz. Every time SCP-113, the gender-switching stone, touches a biological organism, in this case a human, it latches onto their skin and undergoes the process. And so it latches to the skin, burns every nerve in your body, extremely painful, not a zero risk of death, you might die, and then your gender is switched. Now, if it's in your throat and it detaches, it's going to reattach immediately. And then you will undergo that whole painful, almost dead process again. And then it will detach, and then it will keep going, and then you will likely die because that dice roll of death goes up every time you use the object. So that's why we only let you use them one at a time. So yes, likely you would perish. Not a good plan. I just want you to know, Desk has tried 2 AI prompts. Not even close. Not even close. So, I'm starting to feel confident that this will work. Night Synth, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Chickateri Cola on your way past the commissary. Good to see you as usual. What do you think of SCP-9001? Any thoughts and opinions? I read it recently and wow, it was something. Is SCP-9001 fractal by chance? Yes, SCP-9001 is fractal, the origin of the Berryman-Langford mimetic kill hazard. So the answer is no. Or actually, no, the answer is yes. I have read it. I have thoughts. It was a great article. Fairly long, as some of these contest entries got, but it told a real good story. The characters were compelling. The anomaly and what happened to the people involved is a lot. So, great article. Great article. Wiley Simpson, welcome to Site 42 staff internship. Thank you for subscribing. One more check. Boop, 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 boop. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I am now convinced the AI will have no fucking way to help you. I'm very pleased. Just so you know, the riddle in which I give away $100 at the end of stream, I don't think AI is going to help you. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a quiche on your way past the commentary, and thank you for being a member as well. Dr. Sherman, you're one cool guy. Well, thank you in general, but right now I'm not very cool. I'm in fact feeling very heated, hot, with anger, with fire. I've seen people talking about the fire in my hair. The fire is in my soul. I have not nearly enough knowledge of the database for that shite. I also don't have Venmo or Cash App. If the person doesn't have Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal, we will figure something out. We will figure something out. We will do that in emails if you successfully answer the riddle. And Nightsynth, you said, I don't know enough about the database for that shite. Well, that's pretty fair. What I'm expecting you guys to do is some sleuthing. Because I don't know all the database entries either. And in fact, I will have you know, I picked the random page button to get this one. Which means I didn't pick it from ones I knew. I learned about a new one today, and I'm using this as an excuse to teach you about a new one. And so what you're going to do is you're going to hear the riddle, and you're going to think about it, and you're going to use keywords, and you're going to do some searching of the database, and maybe you'll find the correct answer. But again, the riddle is after the credit song. It is end of stream. We will see how this goes. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again to say, one hot guy then, Lamau. What can I say? My evil and sexy plans are undefeated. Trying to solve this riddle is going to distract me from my schooling work, but I'll be so fun. Hey, you know what? As long as you get your work done, it's a bonus that you got two things. A fitting approach, I see, testing how we research and perceive. Exactamente. Exactamente. The same way that I have to research this database constantly, searching for the entities and objects that we need research on, so too will you learn the wily ways of an SCP researcher. You will learn to dance with the database yourself. Who are the test subjects? Are they prisoners or something? The D-class personnel, our test subjects, are typically taken from death row. They are offered a deal of work with us for 30 days on experiments and we'll set you free. It depends on your canon of whether or not we actually set them free or amnesticize them and put them back to work, or just terminate them at the end of the 30 days if they even survive that long. And although mostly D-class are death row inmates, you might realize that there's a lot of, there's not that many death row inmates in America or worldwide. Therefore, sometimes we have to find them from opposites, not opposite sources, from, what is it when, other sources, but a cooler word for other. Cooler word for other. Thank you. I like alternative. I think I was going for alternate or alternative. Thank you. Twilight Zone is real, and Sheeny, and 369 Destroyer, and Dr. Frogman. Listen, I'm in a audio booth of emotion today. I'm a little off my rocker, and we're gonna go with it. Okay? We're gonna go with it. After all, if we can get D-class from war-torn countries and get the orphans, the war orphans, or as we call them, warphans, then certainly I can survive this. What's got you heated? 369 Destroyer, you can go to the beginning of stream for the full story, but suffice it to say, people are mean to each other, people are mean to me, people are mean in the world, and it needs to stop. People need to be cool, not mean. And so, we are trying to be cool today. I'm not trying to be cool, I'm trying to be heated in order to make coolness. If I take on all the heat, then that absorbs the heat from you all, thereby cooling you. I am doing a service. I will bring the heat so you can have the cool. Stream thermodynamics, if you will. Thank you, Sheeny. That sounds so good. That sounds so good. We're moving energy through stream aerodynamics. That sounds both scientifical and anomalous. Perfect. Rave Haven, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a banana on your way past the commissary. Praise Dr. Chair. Grammarly gave me my money back. Well, I'm glad you got your monies back. And Dr. Chair, they're all saying hi and praise. Knightson, thank you for donating again. So, I got a good addition for your site's commissary. Always good. Tomato soup cake. Well, I do enjoy tomato soup, usually with grilled cheese and not in cake form. And I do enjoy cake. What the hell are you talking about? A surprisingly delicious cake that tastes akin to gingerbread. If you want a recipe to try it, I got one lying about if you want. I mean, listen. I'm all for experimentation here at the Foundation. We do experiment. And try anything once or twice or 3 times to see what would happen. Sure. Hit me with tomato cake. Why not? Do not show up in person and throw a tomato cake at me. That is not what I meant. And the joke-hating tomatoes can also fuck off. Dr. Sherman, what would the Foundation do with the Avatar? Well, Junior Researcher HLG, here's the thing about the Avatar. We already saw that, what's that guy's name? The bald guy. The airbender. Who could fly. That guy, really super incapacitated an Avatar. We just have to... No, not the actual Avatar. The one who incapacitated Korra, the other Avatar. I walked into that. I really walked into that. The bald guy, the Avatar, the Airbender. No, I'm talking about the one who chained up Korra and filled her bloodstream with mercury, almost killing her, but not really, and then chaining her up. He did the cool air bubble murder of the Queen of the Earth Kingdom, proving that airbenders don't need to learn all the other things because obviously airbending is the best one. Did not a single person in my containment hazard assessment team watch Korra? It's not as bad as everyone says it is. It's fine. Zahir! Thank you, intern Kashner. Zahir. Zahir is who I was thinking of. Thank you. Harumph. Yes, containment procedures for the Avatar are the same as he used on Korra. It basically worked. Just gotta do it a little better. All right, refreshing the chat. I like it, but I like the original better, no offense. Well, Nithis, do not worry. Everyone likes the first one better, and it is better, just structurally speaking. Korra is still good, but it's not as good. That's fair. Dr. Sherman, may I draw you? I will not post it anywhere, by the way, just wanted permission. Intern Paper Dragon Paws, you are welcome to draw Dr. Sherman at any time. After all, the SCP Foundation community is a Creative Commons community, so legally you're allowed to. Furthermore, as was said by the next person after your chat, who was it? Why is their message gone? There we go. As Tarleton Fox also said, we do Fan Art Friday every Friday. And so if you want to submit it to be shown on stream, you can also do that as long as you follow the Fan Art Friday rules that Desk just posted in the chat. So yes, feel free to draw Dr. Sherman on your own and not show it to anybody. But if you want to, and you follow the rules, there is Fan Art Friday as well. Singing Steel, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to get yourself some, get yourself a hot toddy. Keep those vocal cords in check. Dr. Sherman, I seem to have found an anomalous AI VTuber that has created a hive mind filled with anyone who has seen her content. What do I do? Use the Artificial Intelligence Applications Department of the SCP Foundation. Use some artificial intelligence constructs to take down the stream first and foremost. Make sure that it's not getting a greater hive mind. Then we are going to have to hunt down the people who are infected, but they will be likely trying to recoup the stream on social media in a way that we'll be able to track them. Again, using artificial intelligences so we don't get any lost researchers. And we contain the hive mind infectees and see if we can't snap them out of it. Rave Haven, thank you for gifting a Site 42 membership to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. And if you got that membership, make sure to thank Rave Haven for their generosity. Congratulations on your promotion. Do, 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 do. Night Synth, I have seen what you're talking about in general. I look forward to seeing what the dealio is. Dr. Sherman, why did you give SCP-049 access to technology and YouTube? Intern archivist files. Do you think I would do such a silly, silly thing? The decision was made by someone over my head. Also, sometimes it's just in the multiverse this happens. In some universes, 049 is a member of staff. I believe in Fragmented Minds, the SCP video game, 049 is working in the moon base and wears gloves so it doesn't murder so many people. What happens if someone looks at 096 in a sketchbook? Intern Gabe. SCP-096 is not activated by artistic representations of its face. So whether it's sketched in a sketchbook, whether it is spray painted on a wall, whether it is made of macaroni and paste, any iteration of SCP-096's face that is made via artistic representation does not activate 096. Now, if that sketchbook contained a photograph of 096, then yes, then they're going to die, obviously. I see a Ko-Fi notification. Let me get to that so I don't forget it exists. Rave Haven, thank you for your first donation to today's stream of a general donation, as well as being a member. And thank you for donating through the Ko-Fi, which has far less fees than a YouTube Super Chat. We appreciate you going through the effort. Make sure to grab yourself a taquito on your way past the commissary. By the way, dropped my first behind-the-scenes short on SCP United. Oh, okay. The BTS on your SCP real-time strategy game is up. Very cool. People can go to your channel and see that if they are interested. Could be fun. Are there any dimension doors? Intern Gideon. There are doors between all sorts of dimensions. And the only question becomes what we are doing with them. If we're sealing them or exploring through them or... I'm sorry, a staff member just wandered into my office. What are you even doing here? Boy? Nope. Ran away. Criminal! We'll see if he returns. I guess we cannot have nice things today. Well, that is the theme of this weekend for sure, and that's why, at the end of this stream, we're doing the riddle. To try and make good things happen. Why did I hear a groan tube in the background? Why do you know what that is? Does everyone know what this is except for me? The cat's name is Charlemagne, for those who are asking in the chat. Charlemagne may return. It is the whim. Stream interruptions everywhere. Cats, groan tubes. Chaos everywhere. The damn tree screamed. You're right. In the article for... Give me a second. I'll say it. SCP-729-J's document. SCP-4521 screamed. Containment Site 9, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dr. Sherman, can I sacrifice my friend to D-Class? I don't understand what sacrificing your friend in the name of D-Class would do. They don't have any powers or abilities they can grant you in return for a sacrifice. It's weird. Weird choice of patron for your sacrifice. Rave Haven, thank you for donating again to say, this is an interruption, that's it for the bit. That's all right, I didn't need a train of thought. Congrats on making the tree scream, and now we know the tree is in fact capable of screaming. Thank you, both of you, and... just so you know, that doesn't mean the journey is done. There are still many, many universes in the multiverse that contain SCP-4521 instances that haven't screamed yet. And they still need to. And so, we know one thing that works, but okay, it's like the easiest thing. It's like cheating to use that entity. So we're going to still try and find more creative ways to make the tree scream. Don't you worry, we're not done yet. Doctor, what happened to the people who looked at 096 in a submarine? 096 swam down and got them. Singing Steel, thank you for donating again. Okay, Dr. Sherman, I tried to send the Foundation AI after the AI VTuber, but her creator, who is apparently a turtle, has shut the Foundation AI down. Well, first of all, remember, the VTuber anomaly is an it, not a she. It is an anomaly. All anomalies are treated like objects, not people. They are its, not he's or she's. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. Secondly, shut down the AI. That's strange. Well, get a read from that artificial intelligence construct and see what data you can get for future endeavors. Just Pitt, welcome to Site 42 staff as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service to helping us win the battle against the white names. Is the SCP-3008, the Infinite IKEA, actually infinite, or is there an end we haven't discovered yet? Well, it's, as far as we know, it's infinite. We haven't found an end, but maybe there is one and we'll reach it. I mean, we call SCP-5320 the Infinite Fish, our Lord and Savior, the longest boy, the great fish that just goes on forever. May we find the head or the tail. So perhaps there is an end to the Infinite IKEA the same way, but for now it's infinite because we don't know. You know, I've been trying to get good at pen twirling like you. You're so much better at it than me. Well, intern Gray. All you gotta do is practice, more perfect. And so keep on practicing your spin. It takes time to get good. Never give up, never give in. Is the pen you're holding SCP-067? Intern Mike. Unfortunately, no, I do not have access to that anomaly. It has been shipped off to another site. But it is also a fountain pen, not a ballpoint pen. So for future reference. I swear the Infinite Furniture Store is a pocket sublevel of the Backrooms. I wouldn't be shocked. Crossover episode? Crossover episode? Let's get drunk at work. Amen, Amber. End the prayer proper. Thank you. Sheeny, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a piping hot pizza pie on your way past the commissary. Is that what happened to the billionaires on that sub a couple years ago? They got by 096? Listen, it's been long enough. We can declassify this for Foundation staff, right? Just don't tell the public, okay? We had to figure it out somehow. We had to see what would happen. Toxical Gaming, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. And thank you for making an incredibly generous first donation of today's stream. When you go to the commissary, I want you to walk up to the counter, look the commissary worker dead in the eye, and then knock on the countertop using the patented Good Guy Knock. The first section of shave and a haircut, to which the commissary worker is going to stare at you. And they're going to try and stare at you down. Don't let them stare you down. Keep your eyes locked on. Patience is the virtue. Do not back down. Do not look away. You're allowed to blink. Blinking's cool. But after 3 minutes of standing perfectly still and doing nothing but staring, they will finish the Good Guy Knock. And then the commissary counter is going to slide to the side, and there will be a stairwell to the Site 42 Ice Cream Palooza, of which you are welcome today. Welcome today. Thank you for your generosity. Greetings, Dr. Shermalt. Like a malt shop for the ice cream? I see the reference. Okay. A bit out of topic query. Are you aware of the candy Sour Patch Kids? And if so, do you have a preferred flavor? What about you, Containment Hazard Assessment Team? What's your preferred flavor of Sour Patch Kids? I have a very simple answer. 2. Where was I? Sorry, something on a message surprised me. Anyways, any candy that has multiple colors, yellow is the best color. Lemon flavor, banana flavor, all day. Winners eat yellow candy. Raccoon Dog, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a bag of yellow candies from a variety of several different brands, all in one package, on your way past the commissary. What do you like to grab from the commissary after a long day or a test that didn't go well? Whiskey. Bourbon whiskey. Easy answer. Cool, that means I can pass you my yellows. Synergy. Always good when you have someone there who you can pass the ones you don't like to who will take them. I am also the pickle-eating friend. What do we do with a drunken sailor? Well, early in the morning, you want to shave his belly with a rusty razor. That's what I've heard. Attention Site 42 Containment Hazard Assessment Team. We are currently 45 minutes into today's stream as a time check, giving us between an hour and 15 minutes and 2 hours and 15 minutes, depending on how zesty we are feeling today. But in the meantime, let me make a reminder that today is a very auspicious day at Site 42. Today, we are having a giveaway, a riddle giveaway. We're doing a Mr. Beast, we're doing a Moist Critical. At the end of stream, if you make it to the end of stream, after the credit song even, I'm going to say a riddle phrase. And if you can use that riddle phrase and find the SCP I'm speaking about, and email SCP-number or number. I'm not going to let you trick me into saying whether it's a 3-digit or a 4-digit number. But if you find the SCP that I'm talking about, and you email me that SCP's number at scpsite42@gmail.com, my business email, the first person who answers the riddle gets a crisp $100 bill, except it will be a PayPal or Venmo or Cash App or something like that. So, after credit song, riddle, send the answer to my business email, get $100 for the first winner. We'll see how it goes. I think it'll be fun. I see a Ko-Fi notification here. Let me run to that. Sheeny, thank you for your second donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Thank you for making the effort to go to the Ko-Fi, which has far less fees. And thank you for your extremely generous donation, which went even further because you went to the Ko-Fi for the far less fees. You have done very kindness, and you simply said, Merry Christmas, Sherman Dog. Well, I think at this level of generosity, besides the delicious pizza you're getting, I already sent Toxical Gaming to the ice cream shop. Ooh! But you, can go to the No Yellow candy shop next door. You're just going to have to tickle the commissary worker on the right. Just a small tickle, that's all it takes. That one's way easier to get into. But enjoy the No Yellow candy store. I just had it recently installed for such a purpose. You're welcome, and thank you for your generous gift. Ho, 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 happy holidays from the Site 42 family to all of you. I'm getting back. There's a lot going on right now. Chat is lively. There's a lot of things happening. Help, I have a full-grown husky in my lap. That does sound like Nico, the SCP number 1 doggo-J. In fact, very large baby. About to partake in some 420-J, so the pizza and candy are a welcome thing. That sounds about right on a day such as this. That sounds like a good way to cope. I approve of your plans. I see another Ko-Fi notification. Let me get that before I forget it exists. Nova Flame Ember, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some saltwater taffy on your way past the commissary. Happy holidays, Dr. Sherman. Well, happy holidays to you too. We're all doing our best out on these streets, and we're all doing our best together. So that what matters. Nifus, you are correct. The likes are now higher than the viewer count. We have 98 likes and 82 viewers. Thank you, Mobile Task Force Side 42 codename Signal Boosters, for hitting that like button so aggressively that YouTube's algorithm has to send us more viewers, who we will forcibly transmute into SCP fans, one way or another. And that is how we continue to support the SCP Wiki and its authors, artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, etc. Thank you for your service, Mobile Task Force Side 42. Signal Boosters! 420-J that to my face. I like the way you're thinking, dude. That's a better way to say puff puff pass that I've ever heard. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Doc, where do you get the D class? Are they death row inmates? Intern Hammer Cat. They are death row inmates. They are homeless people who won't be missed. They are researchers who asked stupid questions and got demoted. And, of course, there are the war orphans, or warfins, as we like to call them. Can SCPs be freaky with other SCPs? Well, Intern Fire Fury, SCPs are anomalous, they are abnormal, therefore they are all freaky at all times. That is just what they are. They are freaky anomalies, and therefore they are freaky separated, they are freaky together, they are all freaks, which is why we keep them in boxes. Why did you steal Dr. Clef's shirt? Intern Delilah, I beg to differ. I am also a Hawaiian shirt enjoyer. It has nothing to do with Clef. I am also loud and colorful and enjoy life. Mr. President, he meant freaky in a different way. Mr. President, first and foremost, I mean, hey, if we need someone to replace SCP-5004-B, and we're not going to use Clef, I mean, I don't have the reality sync powers, but maybe if we got rid of the demon, then we could, maybe then I could take over the role. I wouldn't be a bad president. I'm a fine site director. Administration is in my blood. Literally, we did some blood administration. It was a whole thing. The Yarnamites were very salty about it, but it had good results. I'm kidding. Whoa, Scum, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a bag of Fritos on your way past the commissary. Well, I'm a ghost. I don't know how I'm a ghost. But what kind of ghost are you? Are you a specter? A poltergeist? Are you a butt ghost? Is that what you are? Do you lie in wait in toilets, waiting to eat people's butts? And trying to turn them in their butts into ghosts as well? SCP-726-J? The butt ghost? Is that you? Boo-hoo! And now, a dramatic reading of SCP. I am right about this number, right? I did say the correct number. No, it's not 726. What is the butt ghost? Why did I get that number wrong? 789. I see. And now, a dramatic reading of SCP-789-J, codename The Butt Ghost. Item number SCP-789-J. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-789-J is kept in my toilet, and only I can talk to it. Description. SCP-789-J is a ghost that is a face. It lives in a toilet, and it talks to you while you poop. Then when you poop, it goes, no, stop, ah! Then stops, because there is poop in its mouth. SCP-789-J travels around in butts. You can only get rid of it by wiping. That is the moral of the story. Sometimes it kills other butts and makes them butt ghosts too. But it is always lonely because it is a butt ghost. Addendum. If you fall in the toilet, it eats your butt. By researcher James, age 11. I hope you have enjoyed this dramatic reading of SCP-789-J, The Butt Ghost. Researcher James is very talented, and we appreciate his research. Intern Draconian, you say you're dead? But how did you die? Have you too become butt ghost? Terrifying. James Talleyrand? Can you imagine if researcher James, age 11, grew up to be researcher James Talleyrand of SCP-3999 fame? Oh, my chat browser needs a refresh. Give me one moment so I can see you all again. What if you put SCP-173 in the IKEA? Intern James, if you put SCP-173, the sculpture, into the SCP-3008 Infinite IKEA, it's just gonna run around snapping dudes. I mean, the employees of the IKEA don't even have eyes, so they can't look at it. So it's just gonna keep snapping them. And then the people who are in there, the survivors, also snapped. Although at least they have eyes and could possibly blink. So yeah, it's not a good strategy. Wait, who is James Talleyrand? Am I that new to SCP? I've been into it since the first time the Containment Breach game was uploaded. Intern Gray. Researcher James Talleyrand is the protagonist of SCP-3999. Coincidentally, one of my favorite SCPs. Researcher James Talleyrand was brought into a repeating dimensional time loop by a reality bender in which researcher Talleyrand was tortured endlessly, brought back to life, tortured in a million infinity different ways for an infinite millennia. It's a pretty bad time. But eventually took control and managed to destroy the reality bender, saving the world and possibly their own life, depending on the canon. As Dr. Frogman says, did I mention that James Talleyrand is the GOAT? Which is true. In several realities, SCP-3999 did turn researcher Talleyrand into goats. So, that makes sense. Embarrassingly enough, I'm more interested in reading of the researchers more than the SCPs. Well, Intern Pitt, that is an interesting conundrum because SCPs typically don't have as many stories. They don't end up as characters as often. Of course, there were the 049s, the 035s, the 682s, the character SCPs that on one hand, they're very simple in concept, making them easier to meme. And on the other hand, they're characters with desires, with drives. And that makes people root for them even if they're the bad guys sometimes. So yes, being interested in the SCP researchers is natural because you are also trying to keep up with character stories, which is a very interesting thing. It's very human to do that. So, no, not weird at all. Woscom, thank you for donating again. I have a manual for some odd reason. It's saying I'm a Class 10 lightning ghost of the power to shut down the entire cities. A Class 10 lightning ghost of the power to shut down entire cities? But will you use your powers for good? Or will you use your powers for evil? The answer is neither. You're going to be put in containment, and then you won't use your powers. Unless we need it for testing. Shadowless, thank you for becoming a level 1 researcher here at Site42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Welcome to the team of green names helping us to win the battle against the white names. We thank you for your service. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. Another thing that makes me think that Infinite Furniture Store is a contained backroom sublevel. The employees have a striking similarity to facelings. I am unfamiliar with these faceling entities, but the faceless entity a la Slenderman has become a favorite trope of internet horror because, no lie, they are creepy AF. And therefore I would not be shocked that the back room has such things, nor would I be shocked that perhaps they are cousins. Wait, these, do these talk? Do these have names? No, okay. That one just was named by someone, I see. So, you know, more research could be done, and we can figure out if they are related in some way or another. Jingle, jingle, I said your favorite word, okay? The back rooms. The back rooms. It's, before there was the back rooms, there was SCP. It was just like the backrooms, but it was stairs. It wasn't a good meme. Good meme. Thank you, Markiplier. Speaking of Markiplier, Woscom, thank you for donating again to say, how's the Markiplier situation? I forgot to say this during my This Is Why I'm Angry rant. We have official proof that the Markipliers have breached to Canada. We were holding the border just fine. Now, the Markiplier horde has made it to the Great White North. It's okay. It's still landlocked to North America and Guam, which is still a United States territory, but it is getting harder to lock down the horde of Markipliers. Those Markiplier clones are getting all up in our shit. It is very frustrating. The Foundation is doing our best, but it seems, any horde anomaly is rather hard to contain because they are constantly Markipliying. The Markiplation rate is through the roof. And so, yes, the mannequins were not enough to hold the border of Canada. Now, this map that I have access to is not necessarily working right now, so I can't show you the horrors. I can show you an older map, and the older map shows that already the United States is basically donezo. We really failed those United States citizens. So, that's too many Markipliers. That's far too many for there to be in the United States. But on this map, you can see that Canada is still clear. Canada is now infected. But we're doing our best. We're doing our best. We will contain the marks. I just need the containment team to send me an updated map so I can see what the damage is. Interim Doomdia, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Shadowless, thank you for your first donation to the stream, as well as your 1-month membership. I think I said you were a new member, but no, you were a 1-month member, and I read that wrong. So thank you for your 1 month of being a member here at Site 42. And grab yourself some tacos on your way past the commissary. How is 286 doing? Still angry as always. I'm unfamiliar with 286. That is not an entity I am familiar with. 286, codenamed The Brothers Game, carved game board, bears markings with the Chinese game Liubo. Shang Dynasty. Oh no, it's got a Sigma state. Look out. I am quite unfamiliar with this anomaly, so I don't know exactly what it does or why you would think it's grumpy. I need more information. Contained Markiplier, he says, as he has the 2016 Mark hair, Lamau. Hey, Mark had red hair. I have tropical sunset hair. There's more colors. It's different. It's definitely different in ways. I am not infected. I am fine. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. Hey, we're both pulling concepts from an agoraphobic racist from the 1920s in a creative writing fashion. We live in this together. Yeah, he probably needed to get out more for his mental health. But at least he wrote some good books. I remember your buff Santa sweater. Well, yes, SCP-096, since you're feeling a little less shy right now, perhaps you are interested in some gains. Perhaps that will make you feel more confident. and less shy because you'll have sick traps and such? I think you should release SCP-343. Intern to Mixity, what are you talking about? 343 stays in its cell willingly. We release it every day and it just sits there, so. Eh? Question, if Super Earth was an anomaly, which it isn't, how would it be contained? Intern Phoenix, Super Earth is just Earth, is it not? Is there any sort of... If anything, we'd be working with them because we'd be part of the Earth forces. I would imagine in a Super Earth universe, you're dealing with the SCP Foundation being folded in with the Global Occult Coalition on a weapons resource sort of vibe. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. What would happen if you show a Markiplier a picture of Shy Guy? Will it hunt down all of them or just the one? It depends if the Markipliers are a hive mind or not. If the clones are separate, then it would only attack the ones that saw its face. But if the Markipliers are linked as a hive mind, there is a possibility that Shy Guy would hunt them all down. MatPat has discovered a way to turn pine trees into ice cream using a freeze dryer. Why didn't you try that when testing SCP-4521? Bitch, you think I didn't? You think that when researcher Patrick came up with that, I wasn't the first one to utilize that for tree screaming interrogation tactics? You thought that I didn't have that idea? Come on, son. What you thinking? What you thinking? And it didn't scream. Containment Breach and Lord Valtrex. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. What's the furry SCP and how many are there? Well, the one that I am familiar with is SCP-3312, codename OWO What's This? That is a cognitohazard that turns people who are not furries into deranged, mentally damaged furries because the creator of the cognitohazard did not do a good job. They just wanted to make people into furries, but instead turned them into deranged, mentally broken, fur-animal mental hybrid problems. So that didn't exactly go great. It did give us an excuse to recruit a bunch of furries, since furries are immune to the anomaly, and that's how we got the mobile task furries. I think chat needs a refresh because it's not moving, and I'm sure you guys are talking. That looks better. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. Do you recognize the bodies in the water? Of course I don't. My cognitive resistance value, i.e. my CRV, is through the roof. And you guys don't either because you're not looking, right? Has a great question. All right, so researcher Lonnie, on behalf of intern Gray, has anyone tried to upload an AI-generated SCP entity? How bad was it, if yes? So, to the two of you, the answer is that the SCP staff who are moderating the database are constantly putting new SCPs into AI detectors to see if they are generated from an AI. There are several submitted every day, and they are typically found and deleted. Usually by the time it's discovered they are AI, they haven't gotten any upvotes because they're not particularly good. Because an AI is not going to write a good SCP anytime soon. Dr. Sherman, when they asked that question about the furry SCP, I think they meant SCP-1471. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, there are a lot of furries. It is an arts community on the internet. You can expect a large amount of furries to be around. So, not shocked. There is a particularly graphic one called Iteration F. Very adult content. Don't look it up unless you content warning. It is literally just furry porn on the SCP Wiki. Rose Lady, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member, I believe. Make sure to grab yourself some chicken wings on your way past the commissary. Just swinging by before bed. If the world is making Dr. Sherman angry, I send you happy thoughts of Screaming Tree and hot cocoa eggnog. Well, thank you very much for your generosity and to try and lift the mood of one grumpy SCP site director. And remember that I, too, will be attempting to increase my own mood by being generous to one chatter at the end of stream with the riddle giveaway. After the credit song, I will say a riddle. If you can figure out which SCP it is and email that SCP designation to scpsite42@gmail.com, I will, in return, email you back and figure out how to send you $100. That will be the prize reward for getting today's riddle correctly, if someone gets the riddle correctly. Riddle, end of credits. I need SCP dash and the number of the SCP, and you will succeed. We will see who wins the riddle. We're doing a little Mr. Beast, a little Moist Critical Charlie today. And hell, maybe you check the end of the VOD if you have to leave early, because you never know if no one will get the riddle. I'll be able to tell you tomorrow if anyone got it or not. I didn't know you did lives. Well, intern Roland, welcome to today's Site 42 stream. Not only do we do live streams, we've been streaming every day for 8 months and counting. It just happens to be at different times of day, and not everyone sees it. But we've been here, and we will continue to be here. The streak remains strong. Make sure you have your notification bell set here on YouTube, or if you are old enough, 18 or older, to join the Site 42 Discord server, you can get a live alert role there that pings you on Discord every time we go live. It's a little more reliable than YouTube's notifications. Just Pit. Ooh, 1 day deadline? For the giveaway. I'm not saying there's a 1 day deadline. I'm saying first person to get it wins. And I imagine it would not take longer than tonight. I imagine my containment hazard assessment team is quite wise and good at scouring the database using clues. So I don't think it'll take a day. But the riddle will remain open until someone gets it. And tomorrow, I guess, if no one manages it, maybe tomorrow's stream I will add a clue or something. We will see. Okay, how do I get in Discord? There's a hint at the end of stream as well. That's another end of stream thing. We will give a hint at the end of stream, but we don't just say it outright. It's a little game among our fandom. Orange Cloud, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a jellied donut on your way past the commissary. Excuse me, what did you just say? What is the SCP Wiki doing? Also, what is the reason the title says you are ready to unleash SCP-001? No, it's not exact. I assume you said that during the whole furry porn bit. So, yeah, that does exist. I was not lying about that. There's actually a reading of it on the channel that I did for memes during my edgelord era. Stay away from that. June, welcome to Site 42 internship. Thank you for subscribing. Desk has sent me a nightmare. New rule for the end card giveaway. You may only send one email. I swear, if I see someone send SCP-001, SCP-002, SCP-003 in separate emails, I will block your email. No. Do not cheat the system. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. Thoughts about SCP-3001? Honestly, it's a damn fine article, and it's one of my favorite SCP readings that we've done on the channel. I had some guest voices that were very talented. I think my performance as Robert Scranton is pretty good, at least. It's a great story, and I like our reading of it, and I like how it fits in with, I like how another person wrote the tale Until Dawn, using that to be the origin story of SCP-106, The Old Man. I think it's a nice little pocket universe of SCP right there. Autumn Rose, welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Welcome to the green name staff. I look forward, together, shoulder and shoulder, to defeating the white names. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. Email your answer, not chat. Gotta stress that because you know someone up in here won't listen. Email the answers to the riddle, no spoilers. Correctamente. If you put the answer to the riddle in chat, someone else will take the answer to the riddle and they will email it. And so that would not be successful for your winning the riddle game. Oh no, now I'm imagining teams of people like, oh, 3 friends of us who are all Site 42 fans. We're going to team up to search for the riddle and then split the money. $33 each. This could go so many ways. I don't care about that as long as I only get 1 email per person. Why is a raven like a writing desk? Well, intern Moonstone, that is because I put a raven into chamber A and a writing desk into chamber B of the make them alike-ometer in Containment Wing Sector 7G, and then they became very much alike each other. It was a very successful experiment. Bruh, what the hell is this? Well, intern Northeast, I guess you may have woken up from your amnestic coma, so allow me to reintegrate you into reality. Hi there. I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. And you have awoken to Office Hours with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I am here to answer you, the SCP Foundation staff's burning questions about the inner workings of the SCP Foundation. Whether it's questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, quite rudely, I will also add, and of course, hypothetical containment procedures for anomalies that fall outside the SCP Foundation's purview, i.e. entities from another multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. We are here for the next 30 minutes to possibly an hour and 30 minutes, and we'll see how this goes. Wait, why destroy the white names? I thought I was the coolest little Robloxian specialist ever. I didn't say we were going to destroy the white names. No, the battle against the white names is the quest to save them all from their white nameness, to make them into the more powerful, more goodly green names. I would never harm a white name, I would just fix their name. It's gross. Why is it that color? Ugh. Since when were you the site director? I thought you were a simple scientist. I got promoted a while ago. Unfortunately, in this audiophonics lab, which is slightly darker, the site director black lab coat kind of clashes and makes it hard to see. So I wear my old white lab coat while I'm in the audiophonics lab. Hey Doc, how would you class Mewtwo of Pokemon? Well, researcher Solar Blaze, Mewtwo is quite the powerful Pokemon, so I would imagine that based on its combat abilities, it's probably a Keter class. I think it's pretty hard to contain. It's that whole psychic business, so even if we fully restrain it physically, it can do all the mental telepathy and control people and break things with its brain, so Keter. Shadowless, thank you for donating again to ask, How would you classify the God Emperor of Mankind, and how would you contain it in his prime? God Emperor of Mankind, this is a Warhammer 40k entity. Emperor of Mankind. So, the trick of the God Emperor of Mankind is... his existence on the Golden Throne is vital to sustaining the Imperium, since his powerful mind's presence in the Immaterium maintains and directs the Astronomicon, the psychic beacon that makes possible faster-than-light warp travel, and is vital to Imperial shipping. So really, we don't have to contain the God Emperor or whatever, because it's already contained to its chair. It can't do anything except what it's already doing. So that's the kind of thing where we come across the artifact and we find out it's a pillar of how the universe runs, and then we continue to study it, because it is just sitting there, right? But I am also not a Warhammer 40k follower, so I know not the deeper lores. Dr. Sherman, do you think you could beat Murphy Law in a fist fight or a dance battle? I would not want to exchange hands with that jaw. A jaw so chiseled, it would cut my knuckles. Not friendly. But I could certainly out-swing dance the chap. That's for sure. Autumn Rose, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as becoming a newly minted member. Make sure to grab yourself a fish fingers and custard on your way past the commissary. So, Dr. Sherman, I'm curious. Do you like synthwave, music and or the visual aesthetic? And on the same topic, the songs Resonance and Decay by Home. Or Decay by Home. So I am unfamiliar with those songs, meaning I can't answer that. And I have seen synthwave as a... Doesn't Lo-Fi Girl have a synthwave channel now? Yes, so I do enjoy the synthwave radio beats to game and chill to on the Lo-Fi network. Furthermore, I adore the synthwave cyberpunk aesthetic. I think it is a very wonderful mood, as the children say. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. Yeah, that's why I said in his prime before he sat on the throne entombed. Okay, in his prime, before the throne, I see. Okay, that's making a little more sense. I'll check the Emperor's thing one more time and see what he did. Before that happened. Chaos Gods. Most powerful human psyker to ever have been born. I don't even know what that is. Big guy, gold armor, burning sword. Original origin. Shamans of humanity unable to reincarnate, would become extinct, blah, 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 blah. What can it do and where can it do it, is the question I have for you. What is its capabilities? This is a lot of lore, but it's not a lot of explanation. I'm gonna have to go to a verses wiki to figure out what the hell's going on here. This is a bunch of plagiarism from the page I was just looking at, or vice versa. da 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 da. It looks like it has an emotional weakness to fighting friends or children, which means that, or its children, which means that we could use hostages to our advantage. Always a good tactic for these overpowered monsters. Oh yes, a super genius. He's just big, strong, fast guy. He's just the biggest, strongest, fastest guy. I'm sure we just banish it to some universal dimension where we don't have to deal with it. Because otherwise it's like Abel. It's just a guy who's very strong. A reminder, the SCP Foundation is not invincible, infallible. It can't contain everything. There are plenty of anomalies that our human technology cannot contain for one thing or another. The old man on the mountain frickin' is uncontained. There are plenty of uncontained anomalies, so we can't win them all, gang. His OG lore is basically Jesus. Well, Bell the Nine-Tailed Fox, we have 5 Gzi in containment, so actually that makes me feel better about containing it, one way or another. Rave Haven, thank you for donating again. How would the Foundation change in the MHA world given 80% of humanity has quirks? Well, clearly, before the quirkening, we would be doing our normal job, and then once the quirkening happened, there would be confusion for a little bit before deploying the ennui protocol to make everyone forget that people used to not have quirks. We would reform society to make it that the quirks were always normal. That would be the new normal, and then we just deal with the other anomalies that aren't quirk-related. Billy Davis, thank you for your first 2 donations to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a pizza on your way past the commissary. If there is an infinite pizza SCP, what happens if I just eat the pizza box? I need to know. Infinite pizza box SCP, what happens if I eat pizza box? I imagine that you would destroy the anomaly, because then we couldn't close the box to reopen it, meaning that you would just destroy the anomaly, which would not be good. Lockjaw, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to get yourself a fruit punch on your way past the commissary. SCP-682 versus the Vampire Boat. Alright, the Vampire Boat is SCP-6426. And so the Vampire Boat is ambulatory, hostile, and sapient harbor tugboat. Structure and surface are in a constant state of degradation, resting after a number of days. Any blood the object comes into will be absorbed into the metal, restoring its appearance. It can also make tendrils that can bite people and suck their blood. Capable of absorbing instances of the -A, but will do so when it's running out of blood to successfully live. Well, first of all, let me see if we have this in the termination log in the first place. That would be convenient for me. Termination log SCP-682 in the database 6426. All right, it has not been put up against the vampire boat yet. The vampire boat drinks blood. Honestly, does it successfully drink animal blood? That's our next thing. Humans, cetaceans, and certain species of cetaceans. Any blood or blood-filled organs the object comes in contact with will be dissolved in the metal. Humans and sea creatures. It is wholly possible that 682's blood is not suitable for the vampire boat, at which point it would not work in the first place. I forgot we interviewed the vampire boat. And there's an alternate interview with a vampire boat called The Ship of Screams. There's also What Does the B Stand For from the Romance Contest. Fuck you mean, SCP Romance Contest. We are not fraternizing with the anomalies. No. We are not going on dates. We are not sitting across the table with them in a fancy restaurant, trading appetizers and bon mots. No. There was a romance contest a while ago if you want to look for it. By the way, I have a secondary thought about this, which is the SCP termination log reminded me. And I may, in fact, choose to add this to the SCP-682 termination log myself for funsies. Because I thought of a termination record for Plague's new anomaly, the Black Marker. In case you're unfamiliar, SCP-9592, the Black Marker, is an SCP that is a black Sharpie. And if you write an adjective on a living being, that living being becomes whatever that adjective is. And so when they wrote weightless on a D-class's arm, the D-class started floating. There are all sorts of things it can do like that. We eventually turned a D-class into a god. Got crazy with it over there. And so for 9592, the quote, magic marker, my consideration is we write on the D-class's arm, thing that can kill 682. But of course, you and I both know this, and I don't have to tell you that you are fully aware of this, but I'm just going to say it for posterity's sake. We all know that the best part of a 682 termination log is not that it actually dies, because that ends the story. No, it's trying to figure out the ass pull method in which SCP-682 actually survives. And so when you write thing that can kill 682 on a D-class's arm, the D-class disappears from reality because nothing can kill 682. And then eventually, the D-class, wherever it is not existing, it wipes away the word, it comes back into existence, and written on its arm is the word, nice try. I think it's a pretty good log. We know that 682 has reality-bending BS. It's been erased from reality before, and then popped back into existence. So I think that it coming back with nice try is a nice touch. I just might try that. What if you write on 682 itself? That could be interesting too. 369, you are correct. It could be fun to do multiple tests with the black marker down that way. I hadn't thought of that one. Only because I just told you the first idea I had. Orange Cloud, thank you for donating again. Thinks about wanting to start drama, then sets a totally real alarm that says a random 0001 is about to happen. We already have enough going on. We don't need any more chaos. Can we just have a chill time? Can we just have a chill time? Shadowless, thank you for donating again. How many SCP were created through mistakes or accidents from the Foundation? It's hard to say because I don't know the whole database. I'm trying to think of an SCP we actually accidentally created. We definitely made 3086 worse through a mistake in testing. Desk is correct. The answer is not 0. Hand-drawn Cassie, I don't think Researcher Pitt, that counts because I don't believe that was a mistake. That was an experiment we ran that worked. We didn't expect it to work that way, but I don't know that that's an accident or a mistake. See, Desk, the Lovecraftian Locket, we were trying to duplicate 500. We did that on purpose. It didn't give us exactly what we wanted, but it is what we attempted to work for. So yeah, I don't count it if we were trying to do something and it just didn't turn out how we wanted. Well, I mean, that was a mistake or an incident, but not, I don't know, that doesn't feel right to me. As us blatantly making a mistake, as opposed to doing a heckin' research. Billy Davis, thank you for donating again. I might have ate SCP-999, I'm sorry. Intern Davis, SCP-999 is 2 meters by 1 meter of slime. It is the size of a couch. You didn't eat SCP-999 because your stomach couldn't hold that much material. Very funny. Ha ha. Moving on. Kyla, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself an ice cream cone on your way past the commissary. Hey, I made a Poppy Playtime Lion King art. Congratulations on your making art. Making art is always good. Good work. Lockjaw, thank you for donating again. There are the laughing men. I don't necessarily know what that means. Can you elaborate? The planet gods were a mistake, no? Dr. Frogman, I think I agree. I think that time that we turned the planets in the solar system into gods was a mistake on our part. I don't think we were intending to do something and then... We were intending to do something, but that something didn't happen the way we expected, which is what I just said about the other things. Huh. Well, I think the gods were more of a mistake than an experiment gone wrong, right? I don't even remember which number that is. It was in the recent anthology. Get up. About to go Walter White on this fly. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. How high is the chance that Dr. Entertainment made a real-life Poppy Playtime co somewhere? Very small, because the fact that Poppy Playtime is a property of media outside of the SCP sphere, and we can't steal other people's stuff. That's against the law. SCPs have to be original works, which is why Dr. Entertainment can make something very close, legally distinct, though. Lava Tiger, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a chicken wing on your way past the commissary. Opinion of the city Aligata. Does it classify as an SCP? Have we got actually the city of Aligata on the database? We have a lot of anomalies relating to Aligata. SCP-2264 in the Court of Aligata. It's a door composed of iron within a hidden chamber. Martin Tower, Tower of London. Is this actually the city? Does this lead to the city? Because then I would have your answer right here. City. Sky has been described as yellow. Extra-dimensional city. Yes, it is a safe class anomaly. We got that one on the documents. It's SCP-2264. Cool. Asked and answered. Easy peasy. Abel, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a chill pill on your way past the commissary. Seriously, you need to relax. Lockjaw, thank you for donating again. SCP-2419 has an anomaly created at the Foundation. 2419, you say? Let's see what kind of mistake we got going on here. The Laughing Men, gotcha. Beta 7 is to accompany Foundation technicians into Unit C to perform maintenance on one of the 6 incinerators. Refinery, waste disposal facility constructed by the Foundation for purposes of handling incineration, long-term storage of hazardous wastes. So, it sounds like the Department of Acroamatic Abatement done goofed. Okay, yeah, that one's gruesome. All right. I would agree. That one is, in fact, something that we made that was bad. But you know what? It's going to happen when you're dealing with crazy anomalies, okay? There's a lot going on. It's unpredictable. We're doing our best in a bad situation. Anyone got any tips on how to force yourself to write despite your writer's block and a lack of motivation and inspiration? I have ADHD if that helps. Well, the two things I would suggest are either A, walking away from the project for a time and actually resting and intaking other media, which is giving your brain the rest to come back to it later, and inspiration from other sources maybe. Furthermore, you set yourself a routine that you build over time, that on this day of the week, at this time, at this place, it's the writing zone. And if you make your writing zone, I hear that gives the writing muscles the force and the pattern to get used to writing on command. Kyla, thank you for donating again. How did you know I got ice cream? Well, because I told you to get it from the commissary. That's what I said, yes. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. Yeah, naturally legally distinct, but how high is the chance that he has somewhere a factory full of murder plush toys? Well, there are a lot of Dr. Wondertainment articles, and they are not labeled on the hub, meaning I can't tell what they are, so I haven't read them all to see what they are. But I think the chance is actually quite low, only if I haven't heard about it at this point. And if it were to exist, someone would have made a clickbait video talking about it by now. Intern Person, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Lava Tiger, thank you for donating again. What makes the cave SCP-1351 so strange? I couldn't really understand. 1351, I'm unfamiliar with by name, but Desk, thank you for pulling that up in the database. What makes it strange? Description, it's a cave located within Mammoth Cave National Park in the American state of Kentucky. Main section is 30 kilometers long. No direct connections between the cave and 1351 and Mammoth Cave have been discovered, though the possibility remains. Like most caves in the area, the view is carved from Mississippian-age limestone strata capped by sandstone. This has resulted in relatively few flowstone deposits. It's anomalous for 3 reasons. So, these are going to be the 3 reasons. Listen up. First, it is accessible through a dome in the ceiling of otherwise unremarkable section of cavern 125 meters underground. This dome's height, 750 meters, would require 1351 to be well above surface level. So, spatial anomaly. Its dome is higher than the ground, but if you're on the ground, you can't see it, which means it's not actually as tall as it seems to be. Bigger on the inside. Second, the interior of the cave only has a single surface, the floor, and a single boundary component, a wall. Over the course of the cavern, several kilometers in length, the floor wraps around to become the ceiling, while one wall wraps around to become the other. So it is a Moebius strip. It is physically impossible for it to be shaped the way it is. And there are also temporal anomalies inside of it. So yeah, that is pretty anomalous, I would say. Sir, I need an SCP that can erase brain rot. Please help. I will offer up my organs to science. Intern Creeper, just go get some amnestics from the medical. Amnestics are available for that exact purpose. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. Does it give a sign with days without accidents exists? Does it give a sign with days without accidents exist? And if yes, how many days would you guess it would show? I mean, at any of those shops, including the Foundation, the days without accidents sign does not reach double digits. That's just easy to see. Researcher Pitt, that is not music from the game Postal in the background of our stream. It is, in fact, music created by friend of the channel Billith, i.e., the music project Slowgramming. It is available on SoundCloud, Spotify, and YouTube. This particular track is called Are We There Yet? Slowgramming by Billith, friend, SCP author, all-around righteous dude. The idea I had was to write dead on 682, which would seemingly work, but it would revive and begin biting staff as if it breached containment, infecting them with 008 as the text changed to undead. Well, I hate that. I hope that's not what happens. Lockjaw, thank you for donating again. The SCP Foundation is haunted, if I didn't know, by the ghosts of the D-Class. I haven't seen any D-Class ghosts. That's just a silly superstition. No, that's not happening at my site or any other site. And we're not even going to talk about the trench. The trench, that's an exception. That's SCP-9000. There are some D-Class ghosts there, that's for sure. Lava Tiger, thank you for donating again. Have you thought about introducing SCP-999 to 096 and see what happens? Well, SCP-999 doesn't have eyes, so it can't see 096's face, so it wouldn't get attacked by 096. And, yeah, 999 could tickle 096 for a little bit, but as soon as someone saw 096's face, it would run off faster than 999 could stop it. Therefore, not a very useful plan at the end of the day. Theory crafting. Box Ghost was a D-Class. What's the Box Ghost? Do we have a ghost of boxes? There's so many ghosts. What? Does 079 know about the existence of Am from I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream? And how does he relate to his actions? Killing all people besides 5 for torture and revive endlessly. So I have not asked 079 about that short story because I don't want to give it any ideas, obviously. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. Can it be that we make SCP-682 only stronger by trying to kill it, and it's the reason why it's becoming stronger and stronger by adapting? Well, that's why, Shadowless, we haven't thrown a nuke at it. It's our last chance, and so we gotta save it for last resorts, for sure. Da, 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 da. Rave Haven, thank you for noticing me about the Ko-Fi, because I missed it. Haven't seen the notification. Appreciate you passing it on. Thank you for donating again as well. Found a universe version of you that's Spider-Man, but it doesn't like the Foundation due to being chased by the site director at his Site 42. Some guy named Peter Parker. Dead end there. It's weird that I would be swapped places with Spider-Man, and then there would be another fellow directing the site at seemingly random. We need to look into that a little more, see if we can figure out if this Peter Parker person personally knows Spider-Man. Lockjaw, thank you for donating again to say SCP-4973 would like a word with you. Would it? 4973, you say. Dead Men Walking is the code name. Refers to the spirit of D-10,000, a D-class known in life as Gordon Kardavaklis Markovich. Prior to its aggressive state, it was originally classified as an inactive or dormant phantasmic entity. So, literally a D-class ghost. Great. I do not want to have a word with it. I hear it's aggressive. Let Steve handle it. Steve's back in action. This will be a good first task, and we'll see how it goes. How is everyone's day today? Well, as a time check, we are currently at the 2-hour mark of today's stream, and I will tell you, my day, both today and yesterday, and the day before that, were all hot garbage, because people are rude and mean, both in a personal sense and in a worldwide murder and hate sense. And I'm frankly tired of it. I'm trying to secure and contain and protect the world from anomalies, but regular, normal humans are being dickbags out there. And so, I'm doing something about it. Today, we are now at the 2-hour mark of this stream, which means any time between now and the next hour. I don't know how long we're going to stream. How zesty are you guys feeling? I'm feeling a little zesty right now. We could go a little longer. At the end of today's stream, there will be a $100 Site42 giveaway to a random member of this Containment Hazard Assessment Team IE chat. But only if you can solve my riddle. At the end of stream, after the credits song, I am going to give you a riddle. And every member of this Containment Hazard Assessment Team is welcome to try and solve that riddle as it describes a single SCP document. If you are able to figure out which SCP it is through your diligent research skills of the SCP database, then you email my business email address, scpsite42@gmail.com, with the correct answer. I will reply to the first correct answer giver with some sort of conversation about how to PayPal or Venmo or Cash App you $100. Because when the world is dickbags, I feel like helping someone have a better day. And so, someone is going to get a prize from me in order to make the two of us feel better. You get one guess and one email. And maybe someone will get it today. Maybe I'll give an extra clue tomorrow if no one gets it. But we will see what we have at the end of stream. There will be, after the credit song, a riddle. Email the answer to me, one email per person. And we are currently between less than 1 hour to the end of stream. I don't know exactly how long it's going to be, but soon. Why have you been changing your hair color a bit? Intern Quackaboom, because of fashion. Fashion is why I've been changing my hair color. It's fun. It looks good. I'm feeling zesty enough to go 1 more hour. Well, Intern Gonzalez, I'll hold you to it. We'll be here. Lamp, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to get yourself some moth meat on your way past the commissary. Do you think reality anchors should be inverted? If so, would it have reproducible effects if you applied foreign reality-bound physics? I can only imagine what you mean here. Should we reverse the polarity of the neutron flow of Scranton reality anchors so they in fact make everything around them less real? That very much is the opposite of the SCP Foundation mantra to maintain normalcy. But now, what is the use case for inverting a anchor? How would we... What would the useful scenario for that be? There is a great story in having to MacGyver reversing the polarity of the neutron flow of a Scranton reality anchor in order to stop an event of some kind. That how making everything less real would be beneficial to that. Interesting. Okay, you've got a fun story thread there to pick at a little bit. Rave Haven, thank you for donating again to say, Dr. Gerald is in a tank, help. Don't worry, you read the email wrong. He is in a sensory deprivation tank for meditative purposes. Not one of our friends is in the chat's favorite armored vehicle kind of tank. Lava Tiger, thank you for donating again. Are we sure that the tree that screams won't scream because it might be a simple tree? Oh, you done it. Oh, you done got me started. I warned you not to get me started, but you got me started. Intern Lava Tiger, are you familiar with the real world scientific fact that all plants scream when they are damaged, when they are hurt? Trees, you break a branch, it screams. When you mow your lawn, that is a massacre of screaming grass. Flowers, picking petals, that's torture, baby, and that flower is a yelling. Now, this may be at a frequency that we can't hear, but it's still existing. So the one tree on Earth from God's Silence, Oregon, a brutally on-the-point name for the birthplace of this abomination. The one single tree on Earth that's not screaming, that's fucked up. And we need to fix it. And we have, in one universe, but there are many other universes. And they all scream. It's gonna be great. Just you wait. Just you wait. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. What's the most annoying faction to work around? I'm thinking maybe Gamers Against Weed. I mean, they're low effort and a bunch of trolls, and that's not bad, but they are on the internet. And internet anomalies are famously difficult to take down and get away with containing, so maybe them as a faction are the worst? Rave Haven, thank you for donating again. Have you ever heard of OC Social Network? No, but I never lived in Orange County, so I would not be familiar with such a thing. Desk. There is no reason to delete the phrase lesbian Gengar. That is a canon character from the Gamers Against Weed. Lesbian Gengar is a canon character in SCP lore. Do you have Jesus contained? And if so, what do the Christian members of the SCP Foundation feel about that? Aquatic Marine. entered aquatic marine. We have 5 GZI in containment. SCP-029-J is Uber Driver Jesus. SCP-3305 is Bread Jesus. SCP-5991 is Vor Jesus. SCP-4477 is Cockblock Jesus. And SCP-6542 is Milk Jesus, i.e. Jesus. All 5 GZI have very different containment procedures and anomalies, and all Foundation staff just kind of have to deal with that. We are lousy with GZI over here. To everyone who is confused about lesbian Gengar in SCP lore, remember, Gamers Against Weed is an online group of people in a chat room, in Discord servers. It's just a user handle, guys. It's just a user handle. As a Christian, none of the 5 GZI are the Jesus. Well, yes, Ravehaven, the Jesus is over at the bowling alley. That's a completely different Jesus from the other GZI, yes. Ravehaven, thank you for donating again to say, not that type of OC, but okay. Well, I don't know about any other ones as well. No, I don't. Lamp, thank you for donating again. What I think an inverted reality anchor would do is patch together 2 realities and create chronostable pockets of dual physics space that act like quantum entanglement, only with attributes. I'm not sure about that, because remember, the Scranton Reality Anchor works by managing Humes. There's a whole essay about this on the wiki. Let me quickly... SCP Humes essay. A frequently asked question, or what the hell is a Hume? As spoken about in this essay, which I'm linking in the chat for those who wish to investigate more. If you imagine a table full of sand, and the sand is all level, that means reality is doing what it's doing. But when more of the sand gathers up into a pile, that leaves the area around that pile lower. And so your neutral sand could affect reality to the lower sand. And then your higher sand is more real than any of the surrounding area and therefore is able to manipulate it. As I said, this is highly simplified. Read the essay for more details. But it has nothing to do with multiple universes. So you're not going to see 2 realities patched together by a Scranton Reality Anchor. That's just unrelated to what the SRA is meant to do. And Ravehaven, continuing the conversation, thank you for donating again. Wouldn't a reverse Scranton Reality Anchor just cause reality collapse? So what a Scranton Reality Anchor is doing, in general, is it's leveling the sand. It is, if something is more real, a higher pile of sand, the Scranton Reality Anchor field is pushing the sand down to level it with the rest. And so all of the sand in the area becomes level. So what would the opposite of leveling the sand be? Is the question you're looking for here in physics. Is it somehow from a point scattering the sand, making everything in the area less real if you walk into the field because there's no sand at all? Imagine if you could alter an SRA to not level the sand, but direct the sand into another direction. I don't like that idea. I think something bad might happen. What is the longest written SCP? Intern AG, I feel like the likelihood, it was the Ouroboros cycle for a while. It was what happened to Site 13 for a very long time. And then it was the Ouroboros cycle. It looks like possibly SCP-6500 has taken the record. This is 2 years ago, so it might be out. It might be out of date. SCP-6500 is around 95,000 to 96,000 words, where What Happened to Site 13 is around 27,000 words. So that makes that makes 6,500 about 2.5 to 3 times as long. At least that was the answer 2 years ago. And I don't know that a longest one has come up since. Desk, are you talking about 6000-J or 6000-JAY? And how long is that one? Refreshing the chat. Ah, you're saying The Great Gatsby, F. Scott Fitzgerald. And while I go over that to put it into a word counter, Intern Scott, you never had a beard in 2022? Dude, you have grown. Well, I had to cover the baby face a little bit so it, people would respect my authority. SCP. At the end of the day, I'm not going to count SCP-6000-J since it was not written by anyone in the SCP community. But I will, at the very least, scroll all the way down and see exactly how long it is compared to other things. Now I have to sit here and wait while it scrolls. So to be clear, an inverted Scranton reality anchor would at least be localized, yes? Lamp, that's correct. An inverted Scranton reality anchor would still only work within its range. Scranton reality anchors, remember, are about the size of an MRI machine. They're very large. They're very large, unwieldy, expensive machines, and they run off the corpse of a dead reality bender, which is a limited supply resource. So it's not like we can just set these things up in the field very quickly. But yes, they have a limited range as well. And what that means is that what is within the field is what is affected. All right, wordcounter.org. No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the real word counter. Control A, Control V. Oh, no. Control A, Control V. You gonna work? You gonna work? It's such a big copy paste. I think that's why it's having a problem. Try again, because I want to know the answer. There we go. Okay, it did work. It just took for gosh darn ever. Yep, now I got to scroll all the way down to see it in the word counter. 48,803 words. No. SCP-6500 still wins. Even against frickin' The Great Gatsby. We have so many reality benders, but what 3 reality sinks? I mean, there might be some more reality sinks out there, but yeah, we only know of a very limited supply of those. Imagine a natural human being born with that ability. It's pretty rare. Lava Tiger, thank you for donating again. Could SCP-017 absorb SCP-682, or would SCP-682 be immune? 017 is the shadow person, right? Yes. And so I'm going to place a bet right now in the SCP-682 termination log that if encountering 017, 682 would evolve a bioluminescence fending off the entity. Okay, SCP-682 exposed to SCP-017. This is actually the first test on the log, so it's right at the top. 682 issues several sounds at extremely high volume, damaging several recording devices. Sound extends across several wavelengths, reported as the most god-awful roar by staff. 017 appears to stumble, then return to a far corner of the containment area. 682 attempts to break containment of both 682 and 017. 682 surpassed by agents and removed. Suppressed, sorry. And 682 states, you foul bags of tissue, you don't have data expunged. Notes, it is unclear if 682 somehow damaged 017 or communicated with it. Analysis of the recorded image, recorded sound is ongoing. So, no, 682 will not be defeated by 017. First test on the docket, how interesting. Pretty sure that if SCP-343 was God, it would be outclassed by other reality members on the site. I mean, unlike him, well, it, remember it, the witch child was able to slightly affect Clef. That would be a desk-fielded question as our resident expert on Alto. Why is this low-key chill? Well, intern Scarborough, we're just, this is office hours. I'm here to answer your questions about the inner workings of the SCP community, and right now there's nothing bad going on site, so it's just a chill time. How rare are humanoid reality benders, and how does the Foundation deal with them most of the time? Well, intern Thanos, I would say they're fairly uncommon compared to other humanoids with anomalous abilities. I would say that certainly if we allowed for the amount that are submitted to the site and then deleted because the documentation was written very poorly, we'd probably see a lot more of them. Lava Tiger, thank you for donating again. Considering SCP-682 is dead in 2935, why not put R682 there? Because I believe if something of ours goes there, then everything in our world dies too, right? Isn't that how that works? I don't want to be dead, so I would prefer we didn't do that. What if SCP-294 made a drink to forget 096's face completely when you look at 096, then drink it? A, I wouldn't be shocked if that worked. I wouldn't be shocked if that worked. B, that would necessitate that you were seeing the face and had enough time to get to whatever site SCP-294 is currently located at and successfully type in the beverage, have it dispensed, and drink it before 096 got you. So the likelihood of you being within close enough range to get to 294 before 096 got you, that is not great odds. But I do think that drink from 294 could probably do it. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. You can stock up on the drinks. Legendary Doge, that's not a terrible idea, but it depends on how long the beverages keep. Sometimes the beverages, it seems like the 294 beverages aren't usually kept around for long, and I wonder if there's a reason for that. Wait, could an inverted SRA that suddenly reverted to being a regular Scranton reality anchor create an SCP if the effects of both the inversion and reversion are concentrated, that can fuse together reality at a point? So, the problem with that hypothesis is that Scranton reality anchor fields are not permanent changes. If you have a reality bender who is affected by human manipulation, and you turn on the reality anchor, the reality bender is squished back to reality, but when you flip off the anchor, the reality bender regains its abilities. So the field masks Hume's fluctuations, but it doesn't permanently change them. So unfortunately, I don't think your hypothesis is in line. Worthy attempts, though. I do like the way your scientific mind is thinking about anomalies. You are really pushing the boundaries of anomalous science. I do commend you. Rave Haven, thank you for donating to the Ko-Fi again. What if you typed drink that makes you immune to anomalies into SCP-294? Well, that depends on if it, similar to the 096 question, that depends on if it would dispense the drink. And, it is a monkey paw situation. You could be immune to anomalies because you stop existing. And so then nothing anomalous can get you. So there's a lot of ways that could go wrong. You know what I mean? Lamp says, would it just erase you? I said the same thing. Again, intern Lamp, you are killing it, man. You are going to be in promotion territory soon, I'm sure of it. Lava Tiger, thank you for donating again. Someone saw SCP-096's face from space, what would happen? So you know how fast 096 can run? Just crazy running speed. 096 does not skip leg day. If you were in outer space and you saw 096's photograph, it would use that epic squat booty to duck down real low and then shoot up into the stratosphere. You're gonna get got. Is it Ko-Fi or Coffee? Intern Draconius. I do not know the answer to that. I don't like calling it coffee because it's Ko-Fi, and I like fi at the end to be fi. So I call it Ko-Fi, K-O-F-I, Ko-Fi. A lot of people just call it coffee, and I think they are terrible, and I hate them. On the level of their pronunciation of that word, and none other. No other level, just that one. All right, so Nifis said if a robot saw SCP Shy Guy face, would Shy Guy still attack them? And my first answer is the robot sapient or sentient? Because if a camera sees 096, 096 doesn't attack the camera. So if the robot is sapient or sentient, it is possible, because then it is a thinking, feeling entity. But that's a question mark, because we know it doesn't attack cameras. But I find it very funny that because I saw if a robot saw SCP so far so forth, all I could think when I first saw your message, Nifis, completely off topic, was, man, you'll be really sick if they were still doing Robot Chicken. Because if Robot Chicken existed today, they would have some damn funny skits about SCP. There would be creepypastas all up in Robot Chicken because creepypastas are such a popular internet thing now. It would be such funny skits. Man, we need SCP Robot Chicken. That's all. Just a side project I can dream about. Okay, Site 42 staff, we are at the 2.5 hour mark, and I have decided my zestiness has washed away, and we are now reaching the end of stream on that good note of dreaming of a Robot Chicken SCP show. And so, prepare for the outro. Standard outro, credit song, and then the riddle. And so if you are here, you have the opportunity for the Site 42 Mr. Beast Critical Moisting Charlie Cash Giveaway. In case you weren't here at the beginning, I will now tell you what's up one more time as we go into the outro. I'm going to, because I had such a bad weekend, and I'm so annoyed at the world, I'm putting some good in the world by giving someone who is here at the end of stream $100. But that someone will have to answer a riddle. So, at the end of the credit song, I will say a riddle out loud. Your job is to use the clues in that riddle to find which SCP I am talking about. All I want is the SCP designation. I am pretty sure I picked an SCP that there's only one thing that this could mean. I will not accept other entries that are also true. I can't do that. I can only pick the one that I picked. But I will give you the riddle. I will close the stream. You will do your intrepid SCP researcher research. You will figure out which one it is, and you will email that to my business email, scpsite42@gmail.com. The first person to get the correct answer will get a reply email from me with either a PayPal or a Venmo or a Cash App or something like that to send you $100 as a putting good in the universe situation. So, riddle, find the correct SCP, email that to me, only one email per person. If you send me more than one email, you are disqualified. No cheating. Riddle, business email, send me the SCP number of the SCP I said, win money. The business email, last time I'm saying it, is scp-site42@gmail.com. It is in the support link, which is pinned in the chat description, so you can get to my business email from there. After the credit song, you were warned. Now the outro. As always at the end of stream, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. Of course, I'm not going to tell you that my favorite SCPs are the ones I personally wrote. That would be cheating. Of course, I'm not going to be narcissistic like that, but if you want to read the SCPs I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site42 Hub on the SCP Wiki. There, you can see the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines and or sound effects to. And while you're there, on my author page, one tab over from those SCP articles I wrote, there's some links. Links that a lot of people are very interested in finding, but they don't look hard enough. It's really sad for them. But not you guys. You guys are intrepid. You will find those links. You will be able to become a Site42 Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You could do Ko-Fi donations or Super Chats to donate to us one at a time. Either way, direct donations are the quickest way to support Site42, and we appreciate you helping us keep the lights on. But if you are broke gang and you cannot donate, trust me, we're an arts community. Starving artists are a thing. Even if you are broke gang and you can't donate at all, you are still a valued and important member of Mobile Task Force Site42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. When you do the like, share, subscribe mambo across our videos and streams, on the streams and videos and games created by the SCP content creators we shout out, you are helping us to support the SCP Wiki and its authors, artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, etc. And we thank you greatly for that service. Mobile Task Force Site42, codename Signal Boosters. A quick donation before we continue the outro. Rave Haven, thank you for your first donation to today's... No, that's not your first donation. What am I saying? Thank you for donating again to say, we'll have D-Class drink it first. Good idea. Good idea. Intern Debbie, happy birthday to you. I see it as your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Now, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it's a bit of a rough read. Speed round 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, 8980. Content warning on the last one is a rough read. Hey, Site42 staff. It is another successful Office Hours with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. One email per person. No alt accounts. Honor system. Don't cheat. It's rude. This is about good energy in the universe for the riddle. That's a good point, Lanny, the Daemon Angel. Thank you for saying so. Low key, no pressure. Just hang with me in my weather. Rose-colored boy, I hear you making all that noise about the world you want to see. I'm so annoyed, 'cause I just killed off what was left of the optimist in me. But hearts are breaking, and wars are raging on, and I have taken my glasses off. You got me nervous. I'm right at the end of my rope. A half-empty girl, don't make me laugh, I'll choke. Just let me cry a little bit longer. I ain't gonna smile if I don't want to. Hey man, we all can't be like you. I wish we were all rose-colored too, my rose-colored boy. The anomaly may appear shiny, but don't let it fool you. It gets stoned in every test. I truly believe this SCP can rest in piss. If you can perceive which anomaly I'm talking about, Email its SCP number to scpsite42@gmail.com. If you get a reply, you've won. I'll say it one more time. The anomaly may appear shiny, but don't let it fool you. It gets stoned in every test. I truly believe this SCP can rest in piss. If you can perceive which anomaly I'm talking about, email its SCP number to scpsite42@gmail.com. If you get a reply, you've won. Be safe, be well, secure, contain, protect.